morning. It's still morning, but barely. I slept late today. I'm Barbara. I'm the host of the Flame and Fiber podcast, and this is my CoronaVlog, episode number 105. To all of you guys in the United States, happy Independence Day, and for everyone else, happy 4th of July. Today is Dennis and my anniversary, 28 years. I said to my daughter, 28 years, that went fast. She's like, well, I was 12, so it didn't go quite as fast for me. I can see how that could be. But it did seem to go fast. But, I mean, this is vlog number 105. That's gone fast too. It's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. I do my crafting with my daughter in the evenings on Sundays, and it feels like 2 days ago when she was busy and we ended up only talking for a little while. And that was last Sunday. It just is zooming by. At least that's how it feels to me. Now, I can imagine that that's absolutely not the case for some of you when it feels like your life is dragging and you know, and dragging is obviously not good, but it wouldn't be a terrible thing if it didn't feel like time was flying by, you know, like if it were slower, if I were savoring it more. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. There are a lot of life's little mysteries that I don't know the answer to. Thus, mysteries. You do not hear our bird. I can hear the dogs. They're in the house. It's just us, just you and me. There are some birds a little bit far away. There's not even anybody mowing their lawn. Oh, that was a bird. That wasn't our bird, but nobody's even mowing their lawn. But, you know, it's the 4th of July. Maybe they're all preparing their barbecues. We will be eating Dennis's bratwurst grilled and some ribs for me. He likes his ribs done sous vide so that they're in the sous vide for a couple of days, and he didn't do that. But I like mine, you know, sort of, as he says, tough and crisp. So he's going to grill me some for my dinner and the bratwurst. I'm having an urge for Dennis's bratwurst. And, you know, 4th of July is traditionally a grill, barbecue kind of a holiday. I'm sure most people are having a very different 4th of July in the United States than they would typically. But, you know, what are you going to do? I slept okay last night. I do need to figure out a routine that implements some of Ada's suggestions. And I hope I'm pronouncing Ada right. I have discovered that just because it's spelled the way a name is spelled in the United States doesn't mean it's pronounced that way. I pronounced Megan's name wrong for years. So, Ada, if you're not Ada, if you're Ada or some other way, my sister's daughter-in-law is named Ada, ADA. So if I am mispronouncing your name, please let me know. My sister's daughter-in-law is Italian, and my Ada is Croatian. So I don't know. They're right across the straits of something from each other, so, you know. Or Bay of, oh, my geography is terrible. I do not know my waters and where exactly they are. But there is a, you know, Italy is a peninsula, and so there's water up the side, and on the other side of that water is Croatia. Among other places. I'm pretty sure about that. So anyway,
I slept pretty well. Not my best, not as good as the night before last, but I was super tired then. So I slept well, but I woke up knowing that I was going to gain weight because I ate sandwiches and bread in my dream. I told Dennis I know I weigh more than I did yesterday because I you know, how many times have you felt like you just kind of looked at the chocolate cake and you gained weight? Well, it's the same thing for me. I had a dream about eating sandwiches. And it's funny because sandwiches are one of the main things that I miss, being low carb. Sandwiches. Isn't that interesting? Like, whoever thinks about sandwiches. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I also miss cookies. But I can make cookies. I can make cookies that actually satisfy the cookie thing. I haven't figured out how to make sandwiches yet. We've tried all kinds of breads. But on some level, I think it's better for me to just not try to recreate a sandwich. To just, let sandwiches go. I've had 2/3 of a century eating sandwiches. I could forego sandwiches for the last third of my century. I'm planning to be 100, in case you were wondering. That's my plan anyway. And I want to get to 100 in as good a shape as Dennis's dad, because right now, he's a little unsteady on his feet with his cane. He doesn't take his walker out of the house much. So he's not feeling like he's getting around great. But he's 103. When he was 100, he had just stopped forgetting his cane places all over the county. Because he would take his cane, but then he'd get up and walk out and leave and forget that he needed his cane and leave it. So, he had gone a little further when he never forgot his cane anymore because he didn't feel comfortable walking out without using his cane. That's about where he was at 100. Yeah. And he's, at 100, he was sharp as a tack. He's starting to decline slightly now at 103, but that's my goal. That's why I'm doing keto, is so that I keep my cognitive abilities as long as I possibly can. Because I have reason to believe that I could be subject to having dementia, and I do not want that. And that is the real reason I'm doing keto. Everything else is a lovely side effect. The fact that my knees don't hurt me anymore from my arthritis, the fact that I lost weight, all that stuff, that's a side effect of me trying not to have dementia when I'm older. And for Dennis's sake and my kids' sake and my granddaughter's sake, I hope I succeed. And for my own sake, but I suspect I'll be the least affected in some weird way. Anyway, happy 4th of July. I don't have my glasses on, so I've been talking for a while. I'm quite sure I'm not saying very much. So yesterday, I did work a little bit on my sweater front, not too much. Dennis and I spent the whole day kind of talking. And it was really interesting. At one point I said to him, I bet most people who are stuck together, in coronavirus time are not sitting there discussing the Pythagorean theorem and philosophy. Hey, pups. Hey, there they are. There's my girls. Yeah, there's my goofy girl. Who are you? Who are you? I'm still getting used to this one with her new hairdo. There's nothing over there, Pearl. Yeah, I got to pick up that dish so we can fill it up again later. We feed the girls outside. That's Maze's dish. Pearl was checking it out. But anyway, he explained to me why the Pythagorean theorem works, visually. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I never got that before. And it was so interesting. And he was a philosophy major, ultimately. When he started college, he was a physics major. He thought he wanted to be an astronomer, but realized that he wanted to be a philosophy major. Well, and so, you know, when your husband is a philosophy major in college, which the logic is in the philosophy department at Penn State, or it was when he was there. He considers himself very logical. He tries to use logic on me, and sometimes it works. I don't know where I was going with that. Maybe it'll come back to me. Anyway, so he was a philosophy major. So he thinks a lot. You know, he's a kind of a Renaissance man. He thinks a lot. And we talked about thinking. You know, I think one of the things that our new curriculum doesn't emphasize is thinking skills and working things out for yourself. You know. I guess we started talking about masks and things and how it was so obvious to us that we needed masks. And frankly, I'll tell you this, I didn't tell you this before, but I'll tell you this now. 6 weeks before Dr. Fauci confessed that masks really are good for you, but they lied to us because there weren't enough masks. That's exactly what I said to Dennis. I said, they know perfectly well masks are exactly what we need, but there aren't any to be bought, and they don't want to tell people that you should be wearing masks when they can't go out and buy them. So they lied to us. And now they wonder why nobody pays attention to what they say in the United States. Other places, their health people didn't lie to them, and they've done way better. Funny how that works. Anyway, we were talking about, you know, all you had to do was think about it, and you would be able to figure out that wearing a mask is good for you and stops the spread of contagions. You didn't really need Dr. Fauci to tell you that. And you could sit there and say, you're lying to me, because I know perfectly well that the reason South Korea has done so well is because masks, among other things. And, you know, they keep telling us to wash our hands, but I haven't seen anything, anywhere, one single person that they believe caught coronavirus because they hadn't washed their hands because of contact with the virus on a surface. Have you? I haven't. I think they just told us that because they wanted to tell us something. The social distancing, the 6 feet. And to tell you the truth, I believe they just pulled the 6 feet out of the air. They haven't, I think they just said, okay, 6 feet, that sounds like a good number. I don't think they had any scientific reason for the 6 feet. I'm sure the 6 feet helped some. But if you tell people you don't have to wear a mask, just stay 6 feet away, not going to work. Oh man, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I'm sorry. We don't want to hear about this. You don't want to hear my thoughts on this. Anyway, there's a reason our numbers are going up. That's all I'm saying. And I'm staying home. I'm staying home as much as I possibly can. And I've discovered that it is saving me a lot of money. We're spending way less money than we used to. And it's not like we were big shoppers. It's not like our entertainment was to go out and shop. So I don't even know what the story is, but we're just home and we realize we have a lot of stuff and we don't need anything, and we are saving money by a lot, which is not a bad thing. Except that supposedly we are supposed to go out and spend money for the economy. But my personal opinion about our economy is that there's something really wrong with the way an economy is designed. If for something to be good for the economy, it has to be bad for the individual citizens of that country. So it's got to be better for us to save money and not go into debt and not spend money. But if that's bad for the economy, then we need a new economy. That's what I think. We need an economy that's not based on consumerism. That's my opinion. There you go. Now you're getting all my rants about everything, because Dennis and I spent the day yesterday talking to each other about all kinds of things. And while we were talking, I wasn't necessarily knitting, and I didn't work on my cross stitch, but we talked about all kinds of stuff. I'm very grateful that I have him as my partner in, you know, staying home during this. I feel very lucky. He's an interesting, lovely man who likes to cook. Score for me, let me tell you. The other thing that I did yesterday, which is new for me in many, many years, is he and I had been talking the night before about EverQuest 2. EverQuest 2 is a online video game that he's continued to play over the years. I told you where I got my name DeevaaS was from my Bard character when I played EverQuest back in the beginning of the century. And but I stopped playing EverQuest when I started playing poker. And we were talking the other night. I said, you know, I'm playing poker again, so obviously I'm looking for something. And so we started talking about EverQuest 2. So I said, well, let me roll up a character and, you know, see whatever. So I did that last night. I am playing a... I can't remember what my race is. Oh, half-elf. I'm playing a half-elf. I'm playing a half-elf fury, which makes me a druid type character. I'm a healer, and I can fight a little bit. And he started a new character to come with me who is a frog bard. Anyway, so I was playing EverQuest 2 last night. My character's name is Electraa. I'm sorry I spelt it the English way and not the Greek way with a C rather than a K, but that's okay. But I needed to put 2 A's, which worked because that's how I spelled diva, so I'm not sorry about that. So it's Electraa, E-L-E-C-T-R-A-A, and I am a fury. So I played that character up to level 11 last night. I played too long and had some fun, but I need to sit and figure out how my character works and the spells and things like that. I know you're very not interested in EverQuest 2, but Dennis will be very happy to have me playing EverQuest 2 with him. He's missed me playing with him for the last decade, more than a decade, and I figured since I'm back at poker, then, you know, maybe I'm ready to do that a little bit with him, and it's something we can do together, which we do we watch our news together, but we don't have, none of our hobbies are hobbies that we both do the same thing. He cooks, he makes wine, he makes vinegar, he makes all kinds of things, he's smoking things, he's doing all kinds of stuff with food, he does stuff with wood. And he plays EverQuest. I don't know what else he does, but anyway, and I'm doing my hobby things that you all know about. And we are not, so this is something we can do together and something that he really likes. And I enjoyed myself. I sat too long. I need to adjust my chair. My back was a little achy, you know, so I need to adjust my situation doing that. But I had a good time, and I was wandering around, you know, collecting things and killing things and running quests and doing those kinds of things as a low-level character and learning how to play my character. And I had fun. Well, I did it for quite a few hours, but I sat too long. I should have gotten up and taken a break in between things when I didn't. But anyway, so that's what I did yesterday, and then I read my book for a little while before I went to sleep. So I spent most of the day interacting in one way or the other with Dennis.
which was good. And today's our anniversary, and so I'm sure we're going to play more EverQuest and eat his bratwurst, which is so delicious, and that'll be fun. And celebrate quietly together. My parents might call, or I'll call them. My kids will probably call. Wish us a happy anniversary. And we'll hang out with the girls, right, girls? Right? You are someone else's dog. I'm still not getting used to that. I'm still not getting, right, Pearl? Are we getting used to that? Someone asked me if Pearl recognized her, but I think they go more by smell than anything else. I don't think the fact she isn't quite as furry had any effect on Pearl. Anyway, I'm sorry for the rants. We were just thinking about things yesterday and talking about things. It's kind of interesting. There are lots of things to talk about in this world now. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I hope you are well on this Independence Day in the United States. I hope you have a lovely 4th of July wherever you're celebrating it. And thank you so much for the good wishes, for the anniversary wishes that I have received already. I do really appreciate it, and I will spend the day with my sweetie, probably talking more and killing things in EverQuest 2, because that's what we do. We're very violent, very violent. So I hope you're all well and feeling good and chill, and I will talk to you tomorrow, and I'll try not to rant. Stay safe and stay sane.